Good morning, everyone!
Good morning, everyone!
Here we are, another day at the factory.
Every time.
Every time. Another day at the cat shit factory. Good morning, here we are.
Good morning.
What's new?
Nothing much. I'm recording an audiobook for the next few days, which is different.
Yeah, remotely.
Yes, remotely from my home office. But because my home office at the moment is literally just 4 walls and a desk, like there's nothing in it, because we've had... Well, since we moved in and when I started rehearsing... When I started rehearsing for Les Mis, and you were halfway through High Fidelity, so getting anything like built or done in this house was impossible. And then just as things were calming down, lockdown. So here we are. So my office is literally just 4 walls and a desk in the middle of it. So I've had to do like a little makeshift home studio, and of course it's got to be like, you've got to try and like dampen the sound so it's not like echoey, and when it's just 4 walls it is really echoey.
Really hard.
So you know that bit in a desk where you put your legs under and there's like cupboards either side, I've stuffed that with blankets and pillows and like a few boxes covered in blankets, and I've put my mic on the top of it, and that's where I'm going to be recording today.
That's crazy. I've seen those things, like those home studios and like whatever they are, I can't remember, but basically these like big things that you just step into and it just covers your head. Seen it?
No.
And it's like on a tripod or something, and you just step in and like shut the door, and it's just like over your shoulders and head. So you can like sing in there, or
That's clever.
just do like audiobooks and stuff.
I should get me one of them.
Yeah.
That sounds really
It
good.
looks like I don't know what it looks like, it's really hard, it's like a car bonnet. And it's just like sort of that shaped, and yeah, you just like shut the little mini door behind you.
I love that. I should
Yeah.
get one of them.
So that'd be really good for the audiobooks. Well, I think we have to mention what number video this is.
What number's today?
99.
99.
They say 2000 is out of time. So gonna party like something's at 1999. Yeah, crazy. 99 videos.
Yeah. I feel like we're in such a routine now though, because there was a point when we were getting like, I don't know what to make a video about, oh let's just leave it for today, oh no come on we've got to do one because we've got to keep the streak going.
Yeah.
Whereas now we're into such a routine, like as soon as we wake up and at 5 o'clock we'll make a video.
Yeah. It's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the emails have really helped.
Mm.
I think that was a good idea to just sort of get a sort of inkling of what the audience want to hear and us to talk about, because that's really helped us just to be like, oh yeah, let's talk about that. Because sometimes with YouTube, I think you can sort of overthink it and be like, right, we need a really clever idea that's going to go like viral or whatever. And us, for example, we have like sort of our special skill is musical theatre, if that makes sense, and that's something that people might not know anything about. So for us, it might sound like, oh yeah, of course, like that's just how the world works in our little world, our little bubble. But for some people, I'm like, oh, that's really interesting. Yeah. Because I never knew that.
And I think also, we've gotten to that point of YouTube now where everyone wants to make glossy, well-lit, gorgeous backgrounds, you know, they want to make content that looks as good as it possibly can be, and if they can't make that content, then they won't make content. Or if they're not like getting on a plane to Dubai, it's not interesting enough to watch. Like the days of people just sitting and chatting about something are long gone. So it's been really nice just to do that.
I think in places, videos like this are harder. Like, you know, if you sort of got the gear, you've got all the cameras and the lenses and, you know, and you have like the software, you can make anything look good. You can polish, you can polish a turd. But I mean, it's hard to like sit down here for like 100 days straight and talk about stuff like sort of off the cuff and be entertaining or be sort of engaging. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's really hard, I think.
And also if you are like vlogging something, like some specific, like going on holiday, or you know, you're going on some brand deal to somewhere fancy, the content kind of creates itself because it's you traveling, and that is the content. Yeah, in that case, all you have to do is point and click and capture whatever's going on. But stuff like this, you have to like actually think about it and be the content as opposed to make the content.
Right. Let's crack on then. Right, so thanks again for the emails, guys. Very good emails. Loads of emails, brilliant emails. A lot of fan art, a lot of emojis on people's titles now. Because you said, didn't you, capture our attention.
Yeah.
There's emojis everywhere.
Oh.
Okay, so Edgar is now there, and that's his new position.
This is new.
So, this email is from someone called Alice Sarno, and they've said, it might be a bit nosy, but it's not really that nosy. How is it working with big stars in the show? I.e. Alfie Boe, Michael Ball, Matt Lucas, people you did Les Mis with. Roger Bart, big star, that I did Back to the Future with.
Samuel Mac, Les Dennis.
Yeah, loads of them. Sooty and Sweep. Do they go through warm-up rehearsals the same as everybody else? Do they have different daily routines? Is stage door any different? Do you guys get a bit more nervous to work around these big names? Is the question from Alice.
I was really excited to work with Michael again because I worked with Michael as a kid and I've met him again since being an adult, and he's just the nicest human being on the planet. Like, he's just so ridiculously lovely that I don't think you could ever be nervous about working with Michael Ball if you've like briefly met him before, because he's just so nice. I very rarely find myself getting like starstruck or nervous to speak to people. I feel like I have my list of people who I'd probably have like a moment if I met them, like Tom Hanks and Julie Andrews and Gerard Way. I think I'd have a bit of a starstruck moment if I met those certain people that were on my list. But for the most part, I think I've got kind of a good grasp on the fact that we're all people, and especially in our industry, like we've all got something that connects us, which is we love musical theatre, and this is what we all do. So I've never been like nervous to work with people because I'm like, oh my god, what they're going to be like, I can't, like, you know what I mean? And I've also never worked with a star who like thinks of themselves as a star.
No, never really.
Yeah.
Really rare that happens.
Yeah, everyone comes to warm up together. Everyone does warm up together. They'll come out on nights out. Obviously, there are some stars. It's really weird calling them stars when like you know them. Like when you've got like Matt Lucas WhatsApping you every like week or so just to say hello and sing you baked potato over a voice note. Calling them like stars.
Yeah.
Obviously, there are some stars who like have families and have, you know, or live far away. Like I know Alfie used to commute like really far to get to London to Les Mis. So coming out was like not really an option. But that wasn't because he was a star, it was because he had family to go to, you know what I mean? And I feel like that's the case with a lot of like the people that we've worked with. They are of an older generation who have like other priorities, and so that's why when there's like cast photos of us out bowling and like Sam Womack and Les Dennis are there, it's not because they didn't want to come or they thought themselves above it, it's because they've got other commitments that 20-odd-year-olds don't have.
And I think with that, I think it takes time to get to that level. Like obviously you have like your Justin Biebers of the world who like hit it at like 17 and they're just big all the time. But generally, especially in musicals, if that's your thing, like say Michael and Alfie, obviously Matt does his own sort of TV personality and radio stuff. But to get really big in musicals, it takes time. You can't. No one does one job really, then goes right. You're on par with Michael Ball. Like it doesn't happen like that.
And also within musical theatre, it takes time to get known outside of your circles, because there could be people who are like massive within musical theatre, like everyone knows who this person is or that person is, but then if you ask just a randomer on the street, do you know who that person is, they'll be like, who's that?
No idea.
Because they haven't reached the telly yet, you know what I mean?
It takes that time to get there, but in that time you might start a family because you're past your 30s, for example. So it is sort of true really that when you do get really big, time has passed because it takes time to get that big. So that's why they don't come to cast bowlings all the time, because they've got to go home to their wife and kids maybe, you know?
It's just one of those things that I feel like it's really hard for big names in shows because they're under way more scrutiny than everybody else. Like the reason I bring that up is because I remember someone commenting that someone that was quite big that we were working with at the time I was like, why do they never come out with you? It's like, because they've got a child.
Yeah.
And of course they don't want to spend time with us bowling until like 4 a.m. in the morning. They want to go home and see their baby and their
they see us every
partner.
day.
Yeah. Like, people just have different priorities. It's not because they think of themselves as any better or any bigger than us. It's because they've got a family. Like, wouldn't you want to go home and see your family? Like, the bunch of us that were out bowling have 0 commitments. Like, no one had to get home for a crying child. No one had to get home to see, you know, their wife of 40 years.
Yeah.
Like, or their husband of 40 years, or whoever. We'd all go home to like empty flats, and hang out with everyone at bowling was much more fun than that. So yeah, I feel like stars are under so much more scrutiny within shows than the rest of us are.
Yeah.
Even when like you go on stage as well. Like if they screw up a note, they'll be on the front page of the news. But if someone else screws up a note, even if they're also a lead, it's not. No one cares. No one's gonna care. That's not gonna make national news.
No. That sort of comes with the territory though, doesn't it? Like, that's what we always say, like, you know, the reason why the people at the top of the poster, you know, the people who get paid, like, more than the other people is because if they do screw up, like, it's magnified.
It's the pressure that
so that's why the sort of compensation is, your wage is better, because it's like you are actually an ambassador for the show. Yeah. Roger Bart is like up there with Cameron Blakely, I'd say, in terms of just being so funny and witty on stage. Different sort of energies, because Cameron's like off the scale, like he's like a kid who's had loads of sugar. Yeah. Roger can just slay everyone with like one line.
Yeah. And also Roger's like famous in a different way.
The thing is with Roger, like that's the thing as well. Like, I don't know if there's like this thing of like, oh, I'm Roger Bart and I've done this and this and this. They never reel off what they've done. It's only if you're like intrigued in rehearsals and you're like, what's he done? Because I knew he won a Tony, so I'm like, what did he win his Tony for? And then you do that and go, oh my god,
what did he win his Tony for?
You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown.
Right.
And I think he was nominated for Young Frankenstein as well. I think it was right for Best Actor in that. And it's only when you go in and you go, oh my god. Well, I knew he was the voice of Hercules. Yeah. I knew that. You can sort of tell as he sings.
In the original Disney movie, he is the voice of Hercules.
I have often dreamed. Like, that's him. And then you're like, people are like, oh, he's in Desperate Housewives. And then we watched Modern Family the other day. He just popped up. And then it's like, oh, obviously he's the guy in Producers. Roger Bart's CV is like so huge.
All of a sudden you realise all of the things that he's done over his lifetime. Yeah. And you're like, oh my god.
But they never, you'll never know unless you look, because they don't walk around with the Tony Award and go, hey, you're alright.
Like, their CV printed on the t-shirt.
They just don't, because why would they?
Yeah.
Roger was really funny because if he ever sang, that was it. We were at the sits probe, which means sitting down, rehearsal. Yeah. For people who don't know, it's like the first time the band and the cast sort of meet. And there's no acting or dancing or anything like that. Yeah. Really, it's just for the band to play through the score properly for the first time. But what they do, they get the singers in, like the cast, with mics, like handheld mics, and we sort of sing through the whole thing.
It's very exposing.
Yeah, but really fun.
Yeah.
It's like the first time, because before that, all you've ever heard is like the dinky piano in the rehearsal hall and maybe a drum kit. So when you hear that for the first time, it's amazing. Anyway, so Roger goes up to the mic for his first solo in Back to the Future, and I'm like, sing Go the Distance, and he sort of went quiet for a bit, and he had his hands in his pocket and was like, I have often dreamed, and we're like, yeah, and he's like, no. But yeah, Roger's amazing. But did you ever finding out about even Les and Sam, but stuff where you were like, oh my god, I did not know you did that, or oh my god, I did not know you won that award, or is anything that sort of just took you by surprise?
The thing that I mean, Matt Lucas has obviously done a lot of amazing stuff, but the thing for me, I was like, oh my god, he was in Doctor Who.
Oh, Doctor Who, yeah.
That's so cool. And I remember having a conversation with him about it, because he was talking about Doctor Who, and I was like, oh god, I love Doctor Who. And he was like, oh, I was in it. I was like, Matt, I know. Yeah. Of course I know. Yeah. Don't be silly. But the thing with Matt is that his dressing room door was always open. I mean, it was the same with everyone. I don't know, I just happened to interact with Matt more because our paths backstage crossed more. But yeah, Matt's door was always open, and he'd bring his dog in every now and again, and he was just, it's just so nice.
Alice also asked about stage door. I know stage door.
Yeah.
Gielgud.
Gielgud, yeah. That was kind of a different experience anyway, because I feel like if you've got a star who's just in a long-running show that's been open for ages, it'll work a little bit differently anyway. But because the concert was such a hyped-up event, it created a lot more excitement at stage door than you usually would have had, because it was like a limited run. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's very different from having like, I don't know, one star just slotting into Wicked now. Stage door would be completely different to how the concert was, because the concert was like a 16-week run with like a whole host of like big people in it.
Well, it was like the Avengers, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It's like Les Mis Avengers.
Yeah.
Like the Dream Team,
it really
Cameron's
was.
Dream Team, like together. So like, if you're a fan of Les Mis,
including everyone in the ensemble.
Yeah.
Like when you had like Earl Carpenter and Grania Renahan and like it was ridiculous.
Yeah, so if you're a fan of Les Mis, that would be the one you want to watch.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of fans of Les Mis, so I'm not surprised it was absolutely packed.
So stage door was like 100, 150 deep every night, and we had to have like barriers and like everyone's cars, anyone who had a car home, not me, the cars would like wait at the end of the line. And we had like 6 security people at stage door every night. It was like properly mad. But then when we worked with like Sam and Les, because we were touring, it instantly cuts down the amount of people that would be at stage door anyway.
Yeah.
Because it's a tour and not something that's like in one place. And by the time most people sort of heard the Addams Family was in town, we'd already moved, because we were doing like weekly tours.
Yeah.
So there was sort of just less people by default at those kind of stage doors. And even then, our tour had like 0 protocol for stage door. There was like no security. It was just our company manager said they're going, "Can you move back, please?"
Yeah. Yeah. I guess to finish then, did you ever get like nervous around them, like when you were working with them? Was there any like points where you were singing with Alfie or singing with Michael? Well, Michael's a bit different because you've known Michael for years. But any points where you're like, or did you just like do it?
No, I think I was just nervous in general. Because the thing that my mind flashes back to is the Sitzprobe in that like massive hall, and the people that were watching you there were like Claude Michel Schoenberg and Cameron McIntosh like sat in front of you, and I was like, I'm just nervous. I'm just nervous to sing, like regardless of who's in this room. The fact that one of the composers is like sat in front of you, that's going to make anybody nervous. And I feel like then once you get past that hurdle, singing in front of Alfie Boe again was not like a scary thing. Well, and Alfie's so sweet, like Alfie's so lovely, and like he's so in it when he sings that you're like, you're not Alfie Boe right now, you're Jean Valjean, so it's all good. They
quickly become castmates though, don't they? I think the only sort of time where you know, when you first meet them is the only time I think I was ever, like if I think back to meeting Roger like 2 years ago, and when I clocked on who he was and like what he won and just how good he is, I think if I had to sing that day with him, I would have been nervous.
Yeah.
Before I heard him properly sing and me, and you know what I mean, like it would all have been a bit of a weird, I don't know, I probably would have been nervous then.
Yeah.
But literally like days in, weeks in, they just become Roger, or they just become Alfie.
Like I said, they're just people.
Yeah.
Like they are, at the end of the day, they are just complex people as much as we are.
Yeah, and I think they have their own insecurities as well, like massively, like anyone else would.
And I think people have this idea that they walk into a room knowing they're the star, and there's none of that. They walk in just ready to do the job.
Yeah, I think they have more pressure. I think they have a lot of pressure on their hands, man. Like, I think they think if the show's not doing well, or you know, we're not sold out.
Yeah.
I think they
take it on their shoulders.
Yeah, because they know that they're the name, so it must be hard, really. Well, that's that, really. Working with stars, you see.
You're gonna be a star.
You're gonna be a star, a real star. You're gonna go to Broadway. You're gonna have your name in lights, you see. Stick with me, kid. I'll take you right to the top, you see. Yeah? Bye, everyone. Be safe out there. Thanks for popping by. You never say that one. Thanks for popping by. Don't clip your nails on public transport.
That's a very good one. I've seen someone do that with their toenails.
Ooh.
Someone's clipping their toenails on the train.
Don't do that. Save it for home time. In your own bathroom. Bye!